So in the last video, I used Jesus's words and his phrase and his truth, where he said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Later on, he says, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." John Mark Comer, he writes, "A yoke was a common idiom in the first century for a rabbi's way of reading the Torah, the Bible. But it was also more. It was his set of teachings on how to be human, his way to shoulder the weight of life, marriage, divorce, prayer, money, sex, conflict resolution, government, all of it." And then he says, what made Jesus unique wasn't that he had a yoke. All rabbis had a yoke. It was that he had an easy yoke. Secondly, Jesus had apprentices. In the Hebrew word is talmidim. It's usually translated as disciples, and that's just fine. But I think an even better word to capture the idea behind talmidim is apprentices. To be one of Jesus' talmidim is to apprentice under Jesus. Put simply, it's to organize your life around three basic goals: be with Jesus, fellowship with him, abide in him, connect with him, become like Jesus. So the whole sanctification, transformation, character renewal, the increase of Christ and the decrease of flesh. John 3:30, he must increase, I must decrease. And then 3, do what he would do if he were you. Do what Jesus would do if he were you. The whole point of apprenticeship is to model all your life after Jesus, and in doing so, to recover your soul, to have the warped part of you put back into shape, to experience healing in the deepest parts of your being, to experience what Jesus called life to the full, what the New Testament writers call salvation. Salvation. I just love that right there. And I think as an early believer and when I was a new believer, I used to think salvation was like, the whole idea of we're getting saved. Now you have your ticket to heaven, if you will. But the word says work out your salvation with fear and trembling. It's like the salvation is an ongoing process. But it is a healing. Like we are being healed if we are abiding under Jesus, if we are obeying him, if we are allowing his spirit to work on the inside of us. So my encouragement to you is he who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. That's what the word says. Let the word of God, let the spirit of God, let the will of God, let it all flow, and let that flesh fade away.